Hey everybody, we are live. Chef Eric Eisenbud here, the Grateful Chef. Little impromptu dinner tonight kind of video. So we're going to call this one a Playing in the Kitchen with Chef Eric. Did not do a scheduled show yesterday, so apologize for that. And we'll be back up doing it again Wednesday night next week. But tonight we are finally breaking down this ribeye. We saw the one, hopefully you saw the one where I broke down the bone-in ribeye, did that whole thing, and I told you that this one had a couple more days to go. So the last one we did was an Apple Brandy Farms bone-in ribeye. It was absolutely delicious, unbelievable. Today we are breaking down a 45-day, okay, boneless ribeye from 44 Farms. Another great small little farm that I'm trying to support. Steakager's trying to support, and maybe include them in some future endeavors. And so yeah, we're going to get right to it. I'm not going to break the whole thing down because it's boneless. Once I'll break one down, we're going to take the pellicle off. I'm going to start cooking it. This is really about a cooking video more than a straight up breakdown video. Again, you see the Easy Trust rack. That is a prototype that we're working on, and I like it. It really is a time saver, and yeah, doesn't mean I won't trust the regular conventional old school way, because I really enjoy doing that. It's very therapeutic. So this thing is beautiful. It is a behemoth. I mean, it really looks great. Even that there's the fat cap here. This was like an exposed area, no fat cap. I didn't want to slather it with anything. So, but it is quite soft for a pellicle on meat that was exposed. But we're going to get right to it. I'm just going to cut my knots here. And hopefully you guys are all having a great day today. The weather here in Jersey was beautiful. I really enjoyed it. And yes, not your screen getting darker. It's the Grateful Chef getting darker. So again, we're just unlacing it like a boot. It's as easy to truss as it is to untruss. Loving it. Each section has hooks. Just hook it on, tie it on, and in this case, cut it off in the trash. And you can see this is a big piece. All right, now let's check this baby out. Really nice. So what they do is, I don't know if I've gotten a boneless ribeye from Costco, you've got the meat kind of in between the bones here, and they leave it on, so this surface is up and down and up and down and up and down. They trim it flush, and I kind of like that. We're going to see what that translates into as far as pellicle goes. All right, now I like to cut them straight, so I'm not afraid to cut a big piece off because I use it for stock. You guys know that already. So I'm going to kind of level this off, and I don't want to do it before I dry age. I really just let's do it now. But wait to see the incredible marbling in this piece. I'm going to cut this end off. This one doesn't need as much to be cut off. Pardon our noise. I'm multitasking right now, breaking down a ribeye and doing my lawn.
Not yet.
All right, I want to show you. I want to show you this side, because this is the good side right here. Look at this.
Sorry if I made you guys dizzy. Wow.
Look at the beautiful marbling. This is incredible. I want to check. I've got my Ninja Foodie grill going. Hopefully you guys have all seen yours truly have his little 30 seconds of fame on the infomercial for Ninja Foodie Grill. Didn't think, it's not something I thought I would buy, but I got one through doing the infomercial, and you know what? I use it more times than I thought I would. Right now I'm doing a Hasselback potato, and I'm just letting it go in there. It's beautiful. I don't have to heat up my whole kitchen. Really works well. All right, so I'm loving this. I'm going to cut a little bit more off of this.
Daniel Olson said, Lynn, scoot over, I'm moving in. And Bobby Thomas just laughed.
Nice. All right.
And Jay said, you're better looking than he was yesterday.
Fantastic.
Okay,
All right,
we've
so
also
I've got my pieces of pellicle. I'll put those aside. All right, so this is great. I can go any size I want. You know me, I like the 1.5 inches. I use this joint of my thumb as about 1 inch. You can see that? And then I'll go a little bit more, and without cutting my thumb. So there we got about 1 inch. I'm gonna go a little bit more. Just like that. And again, I want to really try and cut a nice, straight, even piece. This is gorgeous ribeye. And I can already tell the pellicle is quite thin. It's really, really thin. So I like that.
This is 45 days.
This is
Nice.
45 days. Go 1 inch. And a little bit more. I'm like, okay, here. Here you go, right here. And again, straight down. Important to have a really sharp knife. These scimitar type butcher's knives work really well. You know, these steaks are getting better and better.
Wow.
I'm going to definitely cook a center cut for dinner tonight. Look at that. Look at that spinalis.
That is beautiful.
Gorgeous.
I can't wait for dinner.
They're getting better and better. Nice.
Carlo looking good, chef.
Thank you. Let's see. I'm going to see if the spinalis gets bigger. I'm going to take the one with the biggest spinalis. How about that? Because I can. My kitchen, my rules. Beautiful. I am loving this. This is really superb. Can't wait to see how it tastes. I have no doubt that this thing is going to taste amazing. All right, I got a little thick on this one, honey.
So that one we're not cooking today.
We won't cook that one today because we're going to cook one steak for the two of us. And we're going to put some pressure, but let the knife do the work.
And Cade said it's time for his taste buds to get jealous again.
Nice. Okay, when you get down to the end, you can make your decision to, you know, maybe cut this just into 2 steaks. So instead of going the 1.5 inches, go the equidistant from one end to the other. So that's about right there.
A little bit over 1 inch? 1.5 inches? Is that bigger than the others?
No,
Smaller.
I think it's going to be smaller. And you can see that it's got a lean to it, so I want to try and cut it even. I don't know how much luck I will have. Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I'm thinking, that one's the fat one. I'm thinking this one is the one. What do you think?
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so I'm going to trim these up later so as not to bore you guys. But as you can see, I've got 3, 6, 9, 10 beautiful steaks. I'm smelling potato. Smells good. All right, I'm going to cut the pellicle off like we always do. Last time we talked about the tail fat. This one has a little bit more of that tail fat. This is beautiful to render down for tallow. This is what you want. But I'm going to cut most of it off because we don't really need to eat it. So this, and then I'll trim the meat off of this part. And I will put this into a separate bag. And that'll be for my rendering my tallow. That will go over here. All right, so I told you about the bottom where they make it flush. That makes trimming the pellicle so much easier. I love that. I love it, I love it. And interestingly enough, you can see we've got some of that same pink fat that we had on the other one that I had never seen before. That is, I'm guessing, a byproduct of the head of cattle itself. It's, you know, this is a small little farm, a little producer, so, you know, the quality, they control every aspect of it. It's not the commodity beef. Really, really awesome. So we're just going to cut this pellicle off again, really thin, because it's not a very deep pellicle, and I find that with the Pro Series Steakagers, they make a really gentle pellicle.
All right, so we've got Martha Ariema. She said road trip.
Hello, Martha.
Sweet. Carmela saying, hey, Eric. We've got John Ambrosio. Beautiful as always. You're putting a badass clinic, my friend.
Nice.
Daniel Olson. Where the heck did you get that knife?
This knife.
No, I think it was
This knife.
Yes,
This is a Dexter. No, I'm sorry. This is a Forstner. This is available on Amazon. They're not expensive, but this is the brand is Victorinox, I think. Yes, I'm sorry. It's not a Forstner. It is a Victorinox. Yeah, I like the wooden handle. Your hands get a little bit of oils on there, and it just over time it just gets really feels really good in my hand. So here's the pellicle I cut off a steak.
That's
See?
not much.
Not a lot. All right, I'm going to season this puppy.
And then Carmela said that meat looks amazingly tasty. The marbleized dry fat. Oh my God.
All right, we're going to put a little bit of heat on our pan. And so I typically like to do just salt and pepper. Actually, not pepper, sorry. Just salt. Liberally. And then whatever left over, roll it around. And we're going carbon steel today.
Do you prefer carbon steel to your cast iron?
I like them both. You know, sometimes I have stuff that won't fit into my carbon steel, so I'll go cast iron. All right, let me put that over here. Let me get this back here.
And Rodney Not Young says, going to make me go buy a Steakager.
Fantastic. You won't be sorry. And I've got the dual mode. And speaking of dual mode, wait till you guys see my next project. I'm going to make a lamb prosciutto. I'm waiting to get the right lamb from the right people, and it's going to be absolutely stunning. So prosciutto out of a leg of lamb rather than you know, the hind leg of a pig. So we're going to go over to the stove. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a piece of this fat and I'm going to prime the pan with that. How about that? It's going to be my little oil element.
That's pretty cool.
Turn my hood on a little bit higher.
Rodney Young asked, what's the dual mode?
So the dual mode, Rodney, is really cool. The dual mode unit will give you the ability to either dry age or flip the switch to charcuterie and make charcuterie. All sorts of cured sausages, and I've made a lot of things. Look for my videos. I've made lomo, which is a pork loin. You cure it in the refrigerator with spices for 7 to 14 days, flipping it. And then you take it out and you hang it in the chamber. I've done all sorts of dried sausages. Right now I've got Genoa salami going in there, and I'm psyched for that. I love Genoa. My dad loves it. Unfortunately, he'll be in Florida, and he won't be able to taste it. But he'll be able to see me tasting it, which is fun. Right, Dad? Anyway, so here's our beautiful steak. Killer. Fantastic. And in the pan it goes. Now I'm one to, sometimes I'll go for the hard sear, but I'll also want to develop the sear. So I didn't make this pan as hot as it could go. I want to develop the sear, like searing, flipping, keep doing that. We'll develop that crust that we love so much. And then we're going to do the butter basting. Cote de boeuf, this is called. And I'm excited. Always excited to do it. I'm going to check my potato. throw them over here. And that can go just a little bit longer.
Dan Olson said he needs our stove in his life.
This was, dig out my handy dandy bacon press just to create that, you know, make sure the surface is touching. I'm going to turn that all the way up. We got a fair amount of smoke. Hopefully you can hear me over this. Why don't you take a look at the Hasselback potato, and I'll talk about that for a little bit. All right, so.
Whoops, sorry guys.
Ninja Footy Grill, yay! All right, so here I've got my Hasselback potato, and you see as it bakes, it splits open. All I did, I took this giant potato. I took a metal skewer through the bottom as best as I could, and then I used my knife and just cut down to the skewer. Then, you know, it doesn't open up until you start to cook it, and as it cooks, it opens up. What I'm going to do to it, I'm going to make it a loaded baked potato. I finely chopped some bacon, and I sauteed it in a pan, and then I finely diced some onion, very small, put that in there, cooked it around, shaved a little garlic in there, cooked that around. So that's what I have here, and of course we'll do the classic sour cream, and these are chives from our garden, so pretty pumped about that. Let's go see what's happening over at the stove. Okay, so right now I'm looking for a nice crust. Woo, that is gorgeous. So you see here it's not as developed. I'm going to flip it over. That will develop into a crust as we go along. Again, we want that surface area down. We're going to let that go. So again, I only seasoned it with salt and no pepper because the pepper will burn, especially something that's this high. So very cool. I saw a lot of new people on the Steakager family group, which is awesome. Some very excited people that have received their Steakager Pro 40s or 20s. It's really great to see. Very cool.
Kevin said that you were actually right on your knife both times because the Portioner is the American being Victorinox. Victorinox, thank you.
Yay, I was right about something. I love it. It's a beautiful thing.
And Pete Romano said they make great knives and they're easy to hone. And
yeah. And it's just an everyday knife. It's an everyman knife. It's not really expensive, and there's not much you need to do to it. In fact, I have a little mishap in mine. I went to try and cut through the bone, and it bent the blade a little bit. It can be fixed. I'm not worried about it, but it's really pretty inexpensive, so I'll work with it until I can't work with it anymore, and then I'll get another one. Very cool.
Dan Olson said he doesn't really care for the flavor of burnt black pepper either.
Yeah, it's bitter. But I love black pepper, so we'll, put copious amounts on after we're done. All right, let's see what we
looks
got.
like Dave Evans sent you a teary-faced
Oh, don't cry.
He said, Chef, is this live?
This is live.
This is live.
We are live.
Yes.
Yeah, my life is live. And look at this. I want to show you.
Basically, guys, he's cooking me dinner.
Yeah, with the flipping, you can see just like you were cooking a piece of tuna. You can basically see how far you are. So that middle is still pretty rare, but you can see it as it goes along.
Can I zoom in on that?
Yeah, zoom in, or I'll bring it closer.
I'm zooming in.
See, just like a piece of tuna. Get that baby back in the pan. All right, just gotta make sure you got some good ventilation, or do it outside on your barbecue side burner, something like that. Very cool. You can see a lot of oil coming off of it. A lot of that fat is rendering. Gotta love it.
And Dave Evans said, "Wow, from Birmingham, UK."
Ah,
So
David.
welcome.
Welcome. Nice to have you here. Happy that the Grateful Chef has gone global, for sure. If you haven't been to our website, check it out, www.eatingwithcheferic.com. lots of cool travel stuff for when we can travel again, and my favorite tools and ingredients, you know, links to the prep deck and the Fina mill, and you know, all the things that I love. So make sure you check that stuff out. And at this point, I'm going to see you got the nice fat along here. I want that, and that's rendered out pretty fairly. So I just want to get a nice little crisp on there. Won't take long. You can see it probably browned up right away. Yep.
I think Rodney Young just bought one.
Awesome. That's great, Rodney. Again, you won't be disappointed. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about it, or Scott or Ryan at thesteakager.com.
Eric's not at Steakager.com.
I am not at thesteakager.com.
But Scott and Ryan are.
I am an advocate of the Steakager and a very satisfied customer.
Nathan Brown loves watching What's for Dinner. So do I.
I like eating what's for dinner. All right. Nice. This is almost ready. I'm going to adorn. You want to come back?
Okay.
All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check the tenderness.
Sorry guys, I got stuck. There we go. Going back again.
Yeah, actually could go a little bit longer. The center is taking a little while. You can see it split into two. This end is pretty done. I'm going to switch them around. Obviously, you don't want them to break up like that.
It's split into two. One half for me, one half for you.
Yeah, this is almost done, so I'm going to let this go. A little bit more olive oil on there, and then we're going to. Hello.
Hi.
We're going to get close. Personal. Put a little more olive oil in here. That should be done by the time the steak is done. So what's the only way to tell when your steak is done? And you can see, before we get to that, every time I flip it, the crust is developed even more. Beautiful.
We don't want to splatter on
The only way to tell is when your steak is done is with a trusty thermometer.
Nathan Brown says, how has your charcuterie game improved since the class you took a few months back?
I have a greater understanding of the concepts and techniques, and I've applied what I learned to what I'm doing, and it all makes sense. You know, it was not a hands-on class, but you know, by doing, you know, learning by doing, I have actually, well, I'm checking the, yeah, we still got a little while to go, so I'm going to keep going. You know, learning by doing and applying what I learned and referring to the notes from the class, I've had some great successes. I wouldn't say I even had a horrible failure. I've had stuff better than others, but all of them have been edible and doable, and nothing's been ruined. And I've gone outside of Brian Polson's circle and researched other recipes. There's some groups on Facebook, and I'm using those recipes, like the Genoa salami, or that might be a Polson recipe, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm loving it. I really am loving it. I'm so comfortable, like, whipping up a batch of sausage now, you know. It's like, that was always like not an easy thing for me. I've got the right equipment now. I've got the salt levels down and everything. Beautiful.
Other topic from Cade, are you a fan of the reverse sear method?
I am a fan of reverse sear, especially with a thick steak. So with a steak like this, an inch or so, I don't think you really need to do reverse sear. I'd rather see you do it in a pan and master it, that kind of thing. But with a thick one, definitely, I've done a ribeye roast, reverse sear. It's great. And you know what? Putting it in a smoker is reverse sear, basically, because what you're doing is you're smoking it, and then you're going to put a nice sear on it. So I do like the reverse sear.
And Dave Evans is asking, what seasonings do you use, and do you use oil and butter?
Well, I used only salt, kosher salt, and Yeah, so what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to pour off some of this fat in here, and I'm going to add butter. Because I want the flavor of the butter.
Huh.
What are you looking for?
Where you might pour that?
Let's pour it right on here. Actually, here, let's do this.
Okay.
I'm going to pour it right in the bowl. You can put that in the sink. Alright, so when you're cooking it in a pan, there's no way to, and I want to say overcook the spinalis, because that's that piece here, but it is so flavorful and so forgiving that it doesn't matter that it's not medium rare. Reverse sear, you can definitely get it medium rare, but cooking it in a pan and getting this crust, no way.
Kevin's saying, hey, put some Texas Gold on that from Pork Mafia.
I could. I want to taste the dry aged flavor. So,
But Pork Mafia rocks. So.
pork mafia rocks. Alright, throw like 116, 117. I'm going to start the butter basting. So, what I want to do is, I'm going to take the steak out for a second onto this plate.
Oh, my favorite question of the evening
Yes.
from Daniel. He says, can you dry age Wagyu beef as well? And have you tried it yet?
Yep, hold on 1 second. Be right with you. Alright. Can you dry age Wagyu beef? Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
And
Yes.
have you tried it? Let me open
I
it.
have
You can
tried
go
it.
back, I'll get that.
Hold on. You're there. I have done Wagyu beef. I did a Snake River Farms Gold Grade very early on when I was using the original. And I didn't want to mess with it. It was my first time working with it. So I only went 21 days. And it was phenomenal. Some people have gone longer. I might go longer if I do get a Wagyu again. But it's definitely great. And the thing I learned about Wagyu beef is that medium rare is great. If you bring it closer to medium, it transforms and it is absolutely delicious. So we're gonna put, I got my butter somewhere up here. Oh, good.
And to me, that's all about the caramelization of the fat when you get it closer to medium.
Now you got a really hot pan here. So I'm going to add some thyme, fresh from my garden, flowers and all. We get that going a little bit. I'm going to probably add a little bit more butter because I want to have enough to taste. And I'm going to add the garlic. Crushed garlic. I did 2 cloves, beautifully crushed. In go our steak. And my towel. And we're going to just do the old tip of the pan, butter based. So all this butter now is getting flavored with the oil. Yeah, gorgeous.
What's your YouTube channel?
The Grateful Chef _EE. Need a little more heat on there. And I get it close up to that. Dude. That's like phenomenal.
I wish you guys could smell this.
So you got the brown butter getting nice and nutty. You got that gorgeous fresh thyme that I literally picked, 5 minutes before we went live. Flip it over. Yeah, this is there. Beautiful. The garlic is now getting nice and cooked, nice and brown. All right, I am calling that a day. A little piece of garlic jumper. I'm going to take the steak out. Steak out!
Woo, that's a little close.
I'm going to let the garlic just sizzle away in here for a little bit. I'm going to let this rest before we cut it. And I'm going to go to our potato.
And Dan Kevin's very happy to hear about the Wagyu because he's got one in dry aging for the last 19 days.
Yeah, awesome. I just didn't want to mess with it the first time I did it because you certainly don't need to make it more tender because it's got so much fat. And this is another great use for your rack to transport your
Carrying case.
Just want to get this cleared off so we can get to cutting this beautiful piece of meat. All right, I'm going to cut it on here. First, we're going to take care of our potato while this steak rests. You guys can take a look at that. All right. You got the plate there, babe?
I don't see the plate.
Potato. There we go. I'm just going to transfer it to here. You can see how this opened nice and wide. You know, you can pull it apart a little bit if you need to. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spoon on. I'll check my garlic. Shut that off. I'm going to...
Dave Evan, as you're doing that, Dave Evans asked, what's your perfect steak and favorite sauce?
Well, I like ribeye a lot. Putting a little bit of butter on here.
You can never have too much butter on a potato.
Right. Because we're doing a loaded baked potato, right? It's got to be, you know, high caloric.
And
okay.
Dan also said, you love your culinary skills are amazing.
Thank you.
And he wants our grill oven.
Nice.
Oh my God, you want this potato too.
So I'm taking this bacon,
Seriously.
onion, garlic, and I'm just kind of moving it back and forth so it falls into the layers.
We are going to use that whole bowl, right?
As you wish.
The best. So Wagyu or filet is your...
What?
I'm not quite sure. So Wagyu or filet? I could have a Wagyu filet.
Yeah, it depends on my mood, really. Oh my God! Look at this.
Do you have a favorite sauce?
You know what? If it's a filet, I'm all about the béarnaise sauce. I love béarnaise sauce. Sometimes I'll make a red wine reduction sauce if I'm doing a New York strip. But ribeyes, I typically will go without a sauce. Perhaps maybe do a little bit of horseradish cream, you know, but or creamed horseradish. But other than that, I'm pretty much a purist when it comes to that. Okay, guess what? Look at this beautiful.
I'm ready to eat.
So.
You're gonna wait to taste that later, yes?
Yes.
We need a good picture of that.
Like a birthday cake. A little icing. All right, and those fresh chives from my garden.
I love having a garden.
Woo!
Scott Broadhagen said, amazing.
Fantastic, look at this.
That's beautiful. And I can't wait to eat it.
That's going on top of our
prep
deck where Lynn will not touch it or drool on it.
Major roll.
Okay, let's see, the moment of truth.
Steak's coming on over. There we go.
All right. Let's see what we got here in our. Oh yeah. All right, garlic's nice and toasty. I know you guys must be screaming, cut the damn steak already!
I am.
Putting the garlic over there. All right. Two ways you can go. I can cut the spinalis off and then chunk it, which I think I'm going to do. I'm going to cut the spinalis just around like that. And I'm going to cut this into pieces. We can fight over them later. Oh my God, the dry aged beef flavor, the aroma. All right. So you know what? We're gonna cut it in half. See how we did.
That's beautiful.
Let's see in the sunlight.
I'll move out of. There you go.
Look at that.
Well, they can't see it because you're out of camera. You can't see it.
Okay.
It just glows.
Still glowing?
Yeah, it's alright.
All right, so first thing I notice is, I'm going to hold it up.
It's juicy.
It's juicy, and look at the striation of muscle.
That's beautiful.
This is gorgeous, gorgeous meat. I'm going to take a taste because I can. Wait, can't forget the pepper.
Well, Dave, yes, it absolutely smells amazing. And ta-da. Ta-da!
All right. Here we go. We're going to tenderness check now. I gotta say, both the 44 Farms and that apple brandy is so much juicier than the commodity beef from Costco. Outrageous. This is an outrageous steak. Amazing. Really good. So, I'm so happy. Lynn is going to jump for joy.
As soon as you wrap up this video.
Yep.
What else are you doing?
Finish it. A little bit of that brown butter.
Yum.
Fantastic. Okay, guys. That's it. We got to go eat this phenomenal meal. Put that over here. Hasselback. All right. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching us from far and wide. Appreciate you. Love you guys. You know what? Thanks for joining us. And be well. Eat well. Be kind. And we will see you on the next Grateful Chef video. Peace.